Shalom, want to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakadash, the belongs to the Apostle of Great Most and honors to brothers doing the work, the most in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning then, Sham meaning names, Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai. So quick one, would you call it? I'd originally started off from this, and I was just going to do a quick video on it. When I was doing some research, one of the things that came, that became obvious was Jake's wicked, man. All right, Jake is wicked, right? And that's why ultimately we are in, the position, that we're in, right? Micah, for instance, says, "I'll bear the indignation of the Lord, for I have sinned against him." And as a nation, we have sinned against the Lord, right? And when you read through certain precepts and everything, you come to the understanding that and you look through the history as well, Jake, hey, we're in this position rightfully, right? But starting off with the elect, the Lord is washing us, starting to wash wash off the filth from off of us, right? He's putting a new spirit into us, right? And then that will be all completed, at the time of the second covenant, okay? But as you can see here, this is Molech, passing the fire, right? This is what inspired it, right? So this is based at 600 BC, kill your babies to change the weather. 2019 AD, kill your babies to change the weather, right? And when you actually see a load of people that are now saying that they don't want to have children, right? Because of climate change, right? Let me see if I can get anything up real quick. All right, move to another tab group. Here we go. Bish bash bosh. Yep. See, should you not have kids because of climate change? Should I have children? Weighing parents, climate result, the climate crisis, and stuff like that. Okay, and then you're talking about it's better, for the environment, carbon this, carbon that. Right, and it goes to show you, right? What does the scripture say? Ecclesiastes 1:9, that the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Okay, so no new thing under the sun, and that's it. So we're basically seeing a rehashing. When what Eastwood does is he just rehashes everything, man. He's not original, right? He steals everything, and amalgamates it, and nowadays is packaging it as something new, but it's the same thing, right? When it comes to abortion, it's just straight up murder according to the scriptures, right? How does the phrase? I think I spelled that right. It's Exodus 1 from 22, right? If men strive and hurt a woman with child, right, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judge is determined. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, right? So the Most High considers that which is in, a woman's womb to be life, right? But, he tries to blur the line, tries to, use fanciful terminology to try and make it seem like it's not, it's not what it is, okay? But look, man, it is a gift of the Most High, right? The Most High is the one that created it, okay? And that is, let me just get something real quick. I'm just going to type it in to get straight to the point. So 2 Maccabees 7:22, right? It says, "I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life, neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you," right? But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake. Right, and so that is based what this woman was saying. So look, man, look, I had all you sons, right, but it wasn't really me that had you, right? It was really Yahweh Shem Yahushua that created you in me. Okay, so Jeremiah 1:5, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee." And before that, this is talking about children. I don't know if you can pick it up, but just got a child screaming outside my window. right? This is before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Right? So once again, just proving that it's Yahweh Shem Yahshua that creates a life, right? So the Most High considers it a life at this stage. It says, he shall surely be punished according as all Most High's been laid upon him, shall be as judges determine. It says, and if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. Okay. So what happens to that baby is what is expected to happen to that individual, right? But once again, they talk about what is it? They talk about abortion like it's something something cool where everyone should be doing it, right? But this is I was reading this, right? Was doing some background. It's a list verse, right? And just doing some research to see the different examples of civilizations that sacrificed human children. Right, it starts off with Babylon finding itself dead center in the birthplace of civilization. Babylon was a megalithic settlement and one of the most powerful forces of the ancient world, right? It says that it's safe to say that human sacrifice was a staple during the existence of Babylon, right? But then I'm just going to scroll through real quick, right? Aztec, right? Canaan, but yeah, Israelites, and they're trying to make it seem like Jake. They tried to, but actually then they end up saying that no, it was forbidden, right? Olmecs, but then Maya, Toltec, right? Which is North American, right before the reign of the Aztecs, right? Inca, right? Teotihuacan, right? And then Celts, right? Now, well, all you're seeing here, these are just the Northern Kingdom, man, right? And they were getting into so Toltec, Inca, Teotihuacan, Maya, and Aztec, right? And then they were just doing wickedness, man. And that's why the Most High came and ultimately, once again, as we started off at the top of this session, saying this is why the Lord brought us into into this condition that we're in, right? So I'm just going to skim through a few of these. Aztecs, probably best known for engaging in human sacrifice for religious reasons. Okay. This one, Canaan, was once again, that's the image that we started off with here, right? Just a little bit more stylized in this image. Okay. It says Canaan is all-encompassing term for the land, which is in modern-day Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Israel. The Holy Bible is replete with references to an ancient Canaanite god named Molech. This is in the Holy Bible, the book of Leviticus, even forbids this practice. We'll just jump straight to that, right? It's Leviticus 18:21. It says, "Thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am Yahweh." Okay. So Most High ain't with a sacrifice, right? This human sacrifice. But what has Esau done? He's come and he's just rehashed it into something that is the same, but he's just tried to make it seem like it's something different. Okay. And then Israelites, and I think it's common because I was looking into here, right, in this particular article. And then I think here it's kind of tries to use that example with, with Isaac. Okay. Right, but it's a thing of in that instance, that's what the Lord required. But then guess what? Isaac didn't act. In that particular lifetime, Isaac didn't get sacrificed. Okay, now when he came back in the reincarnation as Yahweh Shai, that's when he did, become a sacrifice for the children of, become a sacrifice for the nation, the children of Israel. Okay, for the sins of Israel. Okay. But if they might try phrases if to say, it was just a thing. Israel was just going around, which they were in wickedness. They were doing it in wickedness, right there. I've got several accounts here, right, going into that. In fact, might as well just jump into it now, right? Oh, okay. Let me do this first, right? So this is the law, right? It says, and thou, Leviticus 18:21, and thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. Right? So that's the law. We were told not to do that, right? But what does it say here? Ezekiel 3:7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. right? For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. So our nation is don't listen to Yahweh, because they're impudent and hard-hearted. They do whatever the hell it is that they want to do. Okay, and here is an example, so Jeremiah 7:30. For the children of Judah had done evil in my sight, saith Yahweh. They have set their abominations in the house which is called by my name to pollute it, and they have built the high places of Tophet. Now I looked up this place, Tophet, right? So Tophet, it says Old Testament, a place in the valley immediately to the southwest of Jerusalem, the shrine of Molech, where human sacrifices were offered. Right? Let me just see if there's any maps. So yeah, you see Jerusalem just goes down there. Okay. So it says, and they have built the high, back Jeremiah 7:31, and they have built the high place of Tophet, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my heart. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be called Tophet, right, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter, for they shall bury in Tophet till there be no place. Right, but the point here is in verse 31, just be doing whatever they wanted to do, right? It says, Lord, look, man, I commanded them not to do that, but what were they doing? They were burning, their children, right? They were sacrificing their children unto these dumb idols. Okay, what does the scripture say about these different, heathen gods? This is Psalms 96 from verse 4. It says, for Yahweh is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord Yahweh made the heavens. Okay, so it's only Yahweh, right? If I'm remembering correctly, he's one, roughly paraphrasing, there's no God beside me. I am Yahweh, and there's no God beside me, right? They ain't anyone else, right? It's Yahweh. Okay. And that's it. So that's what we wanted from here. Let's close some of these precepts up. And so yeah, this was going into it, which I've opened the precepts already, and we've read that one, looked at that, right? And another example is 2 Kings 23:10. It says, and he defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the children of Hinnom, that no man might make his son or daughter to pass through the fire to Molech, right? So this particular instance, right, it would be a king, right? I believe, not too sure which king, but basically, long story short, he was like, look, man, we destroy this place, because why? Jake was just being wicked, man. Okay. And once again, this is why we ended up in the situation that we're in. Okay, so let's read that for this one for 7, the Israelites, right? So, however, it should be noted that human sacrifices were largely taboo and violated religious law in the majority of the Judeo-Christian religions. You've got the Olmecs here. Just trying to see if there's anything interesting. No. But then once again, when I was reading this, I was thinking also about that statement that the Apostle Arimlab has said, a number of times, and Lord's, I'm remembering it correctly, right? But basically, how of the different kings of Israel, they were wicked. Kings of Judah, you had, let's say, if I'm remembering correctly, but kings of Judah, you had more, a number of, kings that were righteous, right? But of the kings of Israel, right, they were just wicked. And just looking at, you just got all of these, different northern kingdoms, right, that were just, getting all up on this, getting with it, right, doing all of this madness, man. Okay. So it's in Maya, as I'll read this bit, the Maya would sacrifice small children to the gods whom they believed were empowered by the blood of children. And I was reading that, and I won't say it, but certain things came to my mind about what these elites do. Okay, what these elites do, and also how they're aiming at the children with some of with a lot of these wicked agendas, right? There's these different Baphomet agendas. I don't know if it shows you well in this. This is more trying to, when you look at the picture of Baphomet with the the androgynous look. Okay, and there was another one here, I think. So that one was just a mass grave. I mean, this one, it says the strongest, healthiest, this is for the Inca, the strongest, healthiest children were chosen intentionally as they were thought to be to better please the gods, right? It was an honor in Incan civilization to be chosen as a sacrifice or to be a member of that person's family, right? So bugged out, right? That's what they were, right? They were bugged out. Then here you also have the Celts, right? That were, doing the same things. Right, so I believe read that one, Wisdom 12 from verse 3, right? Because once again we did touch on these these Canaanites, right? It says, for it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both the old inhabitants of thy holy land, right? Because at the end of the day there is a blood, not blood, but there's a what's the word I'm looking for? There is a requirement, right? If you're going to be in that land, you're going to be good, right? And if you're not good, then the Lord's going to kick you out of that land. And that's what happened to the children of Israel, right? So this is why it says here, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. So that's America, right? Transatlantic slave trade. It says, by the way, wherever I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, right? And basically, we've not been back to our land as a nation. Okay, why? Because we were going off. Now imagine all of Jake went back to the land of Israel, man. You'd be looking at what them Latin tribes be doing, man. Right? Those different Latin gangs just, slicing skin off, killing mums and uncles and family members because of, as in like other people's, because of rivalries and gang rivalries and stuff like that. You have people that aren't even involved, right? And then you look at the grimy ass niggas in places like Chicago and stuff like that, right? The Lord was to bring us back in there. Not now, we'll just get spewed out again, right? Which is why that change is gonna come first. Which is why the wicked of our people are gonna be reset first, right? And by reset, I mean reset by the nuclear missiles. Okay, they're just gonna have to be born into the kingdom. As in, they shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right, the word there for buy, right, basically goes into redemption. Right, I believe that's what Psalm Deuteronomy 32:7, 32:6, right, and that's that. Okay, so I'll read this off, and I believe that's my last precept. Right, it says, whom thou, so it says, Wisdom 12:4 says, whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feasts of blood. Right, and as in that, it's just can be now used in reference for these abortions and all of this stuff, because a lot of them, of them. Practitioners, we'll call them what they are. They're just witches, man, murderers and witches and warlocks. Okay, partaking in wickedness, promoting wickedness. Okay, so as always, Lord's word, I was edifying, and until the next time we say Shalom.